You're watching Drake Queen Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Neri here from Drake Queen Gaming, and some of you know on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you with the Let's Play episode of NeveN. So yeah, before we jump into it, just wanted to let y'all know that our Patreon is now up for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel, get some awesome rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming Not Safe for Work videos. Anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm chain, we're up, and let's go. Alright. It's just that last night didn't necessarily go as planned, that's all. Don't worry, it'll be fine. Huh. Looks like someone can't hold his liquor despite having a big fucking mouth. As is often the case, my ears turned to the source of the sound first, quickly followed by the rest of my head. I recognized the rat who just spoke, sitting next to a bull. It's one of the duos that sang yesterday. They sang rather badly, by the way, if I may say so. I think the rat was a little too drunk. Excuse me? You heard me. I expected someone who comes jumping on stage to our rescue to be able to survive the next day without being completely wasted. What's the problem with this one? What the fuck is he coming at me for? I've never talked to him. What? Suddenly lost your tongue? Okay, that's fine. If you're really looking for shit, you'll find shit. No, it just so happens that we rabbits have sensitive ears. And when someone slaughters something as simple as the square table warriors, it tends to be painful to my hearing. I give him an insistent look as he begins to fulminate. Seriously, I don't know who you are, but you picked a bad day to mess with me, little guy. Who do you think you are? You come in here surrounded by half the court, talk to the prince like you've known him forever, and yesterday, you insult the nobility in public. I don't know who you pretend to be, but it's about time someone brings you back to reality. I stand up and look deep into the rat's eyes. I don't pretend. I am what I am. A bard. Being social, talking to people. That's part of the job, and putting nobility in its place too. I thought someone in the business would know that. Obviously, I was wrong. Fuck you! Oh, you're volunteering? Tempting, but I happen to have standards. We're both standing now, face to face. He's almost panting, furious, and I can feel his breath stinging my snout. He still reeks of alcohol. I hate shitheads like you who think they're better than us. I don't care what you believe. Now get out of here. I'd like to eat in peace. And I'm not done with you. I want to shut you up, put you in your place. Oh really? How do you plan to do that? You want a duel maybe? Good old-fashioned verbal joust? As if in your condition you have any chance. He grunts slightly and opens his mouth, presumably to accept my challenge, when the huge paw of his companion lands on his shoulder. I think you've done enough for today. He then turns to me to offer me an apologetic smile. Please excuse my partner. Seems that yesterday's alcohol got the best of him. I'm speechless for a moment. I hesitate to continue, to force the rat to challenge me. I really need to vent. But I doubt that's a good idea, so I answer the bull while sporting a brief smile. No worries, I got carried away too. He nods at me before pulling his companion by the shoulder toward the exit of the room. The rat glares at me the whole way, and I return the favor. Once both of them are out of the room, I drop into my chair with a long sigh. Ellois, what was that? Shit, I forgot that a cat was still here. It's just that... Get a grip, Ellois. You're supposed to be good with words. Sorry, it's just that I'm not in the best of moods and he pissed me off. What's doing this to you? Did something happen last night? Look, I don't want to talk about it, okay? Not right now, anyway. When my eye lands on my plate and what's left of the butchered tomato, I realize I have no appetite. I need to get some fresh air. I'll meet you in your room to rehearse for tomorrow. Is that okay? Yeah, sure, but are you sure you're going to be okay? You know you can talk to me if there's a problem, right? I want to be able to help you like you helped me. I can't resist smiling. He's always so sweet. I promise everything will be alright. I'll explain later. I just need to look into it a bit on my own. Fine. I'll see you later? Yeah. I eventually get up and walk out the door myself. I wish a cat hadn't seen this. I'm not particularly proud of the way I acted. This is all Sven's fault. I still can't believe he has the nerve to cheat. Seriously, what is wrong with him? Does he want to win that bad? Fuck, I can't focus on anything else. I know he did this to get into my head. That's why he chose my song. And I'm absolutely furious that he succeeded. I eventually get to the courtyard. The remnants of the last night's party are being cleaned up, and in a few hours it'll be like nothing happened here. Second meal, water time. I let out a long sigh as I sit down on a bench. My head is starting to hurt. This isn't helping my situation. Wish Ragor were here. He would know what to do. I lean in, taking my head between my paws. Come on, Ellois, think. What would the band leader say to you if he were here? Ellois is sitting on the grass, his back resting against a tree. He has his head on his knees, which he is holding tightly in his arms. He is skinny, much more so than a healthy person should be, and his clothes are fluttering about him. Every now and then a muffled sniff is heard. Faced with this sight, Ragor pauses for a few moments. His eyes, first on the young rabbit resting nothing but expressing nothing but sadness and pity for little Singer. Whatever the reasons that led him here, living alone on the street without a brand at that age, the Labrador preferred not to imagine what Ellois had to do to simply survive. He finally comes forward, before sitting down on the other side of the tree, simply remaining silent. What do you want from me? Me? Nothing. That's just a perfect place to take a nap. It would be a shame not to enjoy it. A silence ensues, with no sound other than that of nature and, in the distance, the din of the rest of the band. When are you going to tell me? Tell you what? You're kicking me out of the company. You don't need me anymore. And why would I do that? Sven got his voice back. I don't need to replace him anymore. He told me that on top of that, since I can't... From what I remember, I seem to be the one leading our band, not Sven. But he's right, isn't he? You don't need me here anymore. And Liana wrote me this song, and I just can't sing it right. Sven got it almost perfect on the first try. But Liana didn't write it for Sven. She wants you to sing it. I can't fucking do it. Do you understand that? I understand that you can't do it right now. And I can't do it later either. Do you always give up so easily? Because something doesn't go your way right away, you don't even try anymore? What? No, but Sven told me that since he was able to interpret the song better, it was the proof you needed that I was useless to the band. And you believed him? To be honest with you, I think Sven is just jealous. You're more talented than he is, Ellois, and I think he knows it as well as anyone else here. What you need more than anything else is experience. You need to get used to singing in a group, not alone. But I don't know what to do. I've been thinking about how to... Have you tried not to think about it? What? You heard me. Do something else. Go talk, go play, drink, or take a nap. Take your mind off of it, and then get back to the problem you have with the song. If you can't figure it out, ask for help. We're all here to support you now. There's a brief pause before Ragor resumes. Just avoid Sven. After another moment of silence, a brief laugh can be heard from the rabbit's side, who then comes to raise his head, settling himself well against the tree. Thank you, Ragor. I think I'll try to do it your way. Great. In that case, I'll leave you to it. I need to talk to Sven. Ragor stands up, scrubbing his pants to remove the grass and leaves that have clung to them. Oh, one more thing. I don't keep people in my band because they're useful, Ellois. I keep you in my troupe because you are a good person, in addition to being talented. Ragor gives Ellois one last smile before leaving. The rabbit smiles back, but his face turns sad once again once the Labrador turns his back, his ears slowly coming down to on his shoulders. He doesn't have the courage to tell him he's wrong. He's not a good person. I take a long breath as I open my eyes again. It's been a while since I thought about my debut in Ragor's band. We had this talk, a week, maybe two after we met? I ended up being able to sing Liana's song, eventually. A little love song. When I think about it, I wonder if she was trying to hit on me with it. I hadn't told her my preferences at that time. Anyway, the song is lovely. I have to try to teach it to a cat, see if we can play it together. But in the meantime, I think I'll just follow the advice Ragor gave me at the time. Let's try to keep me distracted to think about something other than this disastrous evening. Maybe I should just keep my plan for the day, meet up with the cat and rehearse with him. So I slapped my thighs before getting up, dashing off to join the falcon in his room. Thinking now, water time. Here I am again! When I enter his room, a cat is sitting on his bed, rechecking the condition of his instrument and tuning it. I guess he wanted to check that there are no problems with it after installing his new string with a certain level of alcohol in his blood. Good to see you again. Are you feeling better? Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry again about all this. It's not how I usually am, I promise. I know. We all have our bad days after all. He gives me a gentle smile before returning his attention to his instrument. But God, this bird is too cute for his own good. I sat next to him, staring at his movements with genuine interest. There's something fascinating about watching him glide his fingers over the lute, gently caressing the strings and wood. Every motion is measured and calm. Every action has a clear purpose. A cat has mastered what he does and demonstrates it in the way he handles his tool. You're doing it again. What are you talking about? It's just that I've noticed that when I'm playing my instrument, you stop what you're doing to look at me. It happened again last night when I was installing the string. Oh, you remember last night? I was afraid I would have to remind you what happened. I wasn't that drunk. Cat, you fell asleep on my shoulder. It's just that I wasn't complaining. It's just next time you want to fall asleep with me, at least wait until we get into your bed. Or mine. I'm fine with either. Again, red covers the falcon's cheeks and he looks away. Now that's a sight I'll never get tired of. There won't be a next time, I promise you. What, I'm not good enough for you? Is that why you don't want to sleep with me? No, that's not what I meant. I just wanted to... The cat stops when he notices the huge grin displayed on my face. I know I could have continued to tease him a bit more, but I can't help it. You're mocking me again, aren't you? Me? Never! I'm just teasing you a bit, that's all. It's my own way of showing that I like you. Really? Of course! Isn't that a thing you do in Makad? Tease people you appreciate? I clearly asked the wrong question. Aket remained silent, and, like every time I mention his country, he caresses the gold under his eyes. I should ask him more about Makad. It helps me understand him better. But now is not the time. Not with nobles. In fact, public displays of affection are not particularly well received, generally speaking. Well, looks like your whole society is a broom up its ass. I can see why you left. He tries to hold back a smile before returning to his instrument. That still doesn't really address what I was saying. What do you mean? I wanted to know why you stop everything as soon as I pick up my loot. It's a little embarrassing at times, to be honest. Sorry, I can't really help it. You're almost a different person when you're handling your loot. You're much more confident. I don't see... Really? I don't think I act differently, though. It's just that I know what I'm doing, I think. Maybe, but it's fascinating to watch either way. You're exaggerating. Seriously, Aket, you're gonna have to learn to accept compliments. Take my example and bathe in the glory. The bird plays a few notes on his instrument before turning to me, looking at me with a curious look. He stays like that for a few seconds, and I start to worry. Do I have something on my muzzle? I'm wondering about something, though. I'm all ears. Literally. I mean, look at those things. They're almost half my size. I gently wiggle my ears on my head, which has the added bonus of making him laugh briefly. I can see that, but I wanted to know, how do you just jump on stage like you did yesterday? I could never have decided to follow you if you hadn't pulled me along. I don't know, I can't really explain it. I guess it's like when you play the lute. That's my thing. I've always known how to do it. I've never had any problem showing off like that in public, whether the audience wants to hear me or not, for that matter. I smile as a particular memory comes to mind. Once when I was 8 years old, maybe 9 at the most, I had it in my head that I was old enough to perform and put on a little show for the Harvest Festival in my town. The problem was, it was a small 2-part scene, and no one wanted to perform with me, or their parents wouldn't let me. I don't know. Anyway, everyone had to put up with me for 10 minutes performing with myself. They were even nice enough to clap for me at the end. By the gods, when I think back, I must have looked absolutely ridiculous. Aket just listens to me talk before quietly laughing at the end. I guess they mostly thought it was cute. Children often have that advantage over us adults. We let them do more than we are allowed to do. That's one way of looking at it. They seem to like you at home. I think they hated me as much as they loved me. I wasn't exactly the best behaved little boy. Oh, I have no doubt that you were already a troublemaker back then, but why did you leave your town? I guess I only have myself to blame for that question. I'm the one who brought up the past. Come on, Ellois. The usual, blah 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 blah, then we move on. Like, you know? Okay. I'm about to answer when my eyes meet Aket's, and for a brief moment I hesitate. I can be honest for once. Just explain what happened. I'm sure he'll understand. And the reality of things comes back to me. Of course not. I can't. It's too risky. I don't want to lose what I share with Aket. When my grandfather died, I realized that I couldn't stay put. If I stayed there, I would never have the opportunity to see the world and make myself known. That's what went through my mind. So the first chance I got, I left. It wasn't easy at first, but eventually I found myself a band, and then, ta-da! Here I am, soon to be a royal bard with you. I give him a big smile, which he gives me back. Good, it worked. Keep lying to people who trust you, Ellois. By the way, don't you think it's time we had a little practice? Aket nods his head before grabbing his lute while I warm up my voice. I don't have time to dwell on the past. I have to get everything ready for tomorrow. The rehearsal with Aket went as well as expected. There's only one thing now that could really keep us from winning. Sven. If he cheats during the competition, he'll probably have the win in the palm of his hand. I have to make sure that doesn't happen. My concern is that I just can't run to Melbourne and tell him I think the weasel is cheating. Without proof, he'll just dismiss me, and that's not exactly something I can easily prove. I have to find something to convince him. I can't just let Sven get away with it. There has to be some way to prove that I'm not lying. I know what I'm saying, and I know the weasel. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!